What's going on, guys? It's New York Prepper here. In this video, I'm going to chronograph some 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum bear loads. These are from Buffalo Bore. These are 440 grain Hardcast, long flat nose gas check. And the printed velocity by Buffalo Bore is 1625 feet per second. And it's supposed to be generating 2,579 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chronograph this bullet here, this cartridge. All right, and this is what it looks like. This is the 440 grain Hardcast. All right, you can see that flat nose. It's a Brinell hardness of 21 or 22, I believe. It's a very hard bullet. It's meant for bear protection. Grizzly bear, black bear, polar bear. It's an extremely powerful round. I've done penetration tests with this round before, and this round penetrated through 9 2x10s, all right? 9 Douglas fir 2x10 framing joists that I screwed together. It penetrated through 9 of them, all right? It's very impressive penetration. This is by far the best bear defense load that you can get from a factory bear defense load. This is by far the best that I've tested so far. And you do pay a little extra for the Buffalo Bore, but it's been proven to stop dangerous game, especially bears. It's been used many times to stop aggressive bears. So you pay a little extra, but I'd rather pay a little extra if it means that I'm using something that's tested and works and is going to save my life. You know, my life is worth an extra 25 bucks. So I'm going to be chronographing this load to see what the numbers are in comparison to what they say. I'm going to be using my Smith & Wesson 500. This is a 6.5 inch barrel on this. Okay, it's a 5-shot. And I just want to see what kind of velocities I get from this 6.5 inch barrel. And the chronograph that I used is the Pro Chrono DLX. All right, this is a very good chronograph. I highly recommend it. So stay tuned, guys, and I hope this sheds some light on this load here. We could see what kind of velocities this thing produces. I highly recommend you get this load for bear defense. It's the best load that I can find that's made, you know, in a factory. You know, obviously hand loading is different, but for a factory bear load, this is by far the best for your 500 Magnum. So that's pretty much it, guys. Stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy the video. All right, guys, so I completed the test, and here are the results. The Buffalo Bore 440 grain Hardcast bear loads for the 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum had an average velocity of 1,561 feet per second out of a 6.5 inch barrel revolver. and the factory stated velocity from buffalo bore is 1,625 feet per second. I don't know what test barrel length they use to get that velocity. I sent them an email and I'm waiting for them to get back to me. I tried to call them, but they're not answering their phone right now because of the COVID ammo panic buying. But I'm hoping they'll get back to me soon. I'm guessing they probably use a 7.5 inch or 8 3/8 inch test barrel. So with the 6.5 inch barrel, we lost about 60 feet per second or so, which is really not that bad at all. And especially when you consider the fact that it was cold outside when I did this test. It was 38 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys that reload know that temperature has a big effect on velocity. Even if you're using temperature stable powders, the velocity and pressures are always going to be lower in colder weather. So it's possible that in a warmer summer environment, these velocities may be slightly higher. They might be closer to 1,600 feet per second. So that's something to keep in mind. But we had an average velocity of 1,561 feet per second. So it only lost about 65 feet per second, which is very good. We had an extreme spread of 53 feet per second, which is very good. Standard deviation was 20 feet per second, which is decent. And the highest speed was 1,584 feet per second. And the lowest was 1,531 feet per second. So those are some good numbers. The first shot was the fastest at 1,584 feet per second. Then the second shot was 1,576 feet per second. The third shot was 1,555 feet per second. And the fourth shot was 1,531 feet per second. So those are very good speeds, pushing a 440 grain bullet out of a 6.5 inch barrel revolver at over 1,560 feet per second is extremely fast. That's approaching the speed of a 12 gauge slug. A 1 ounce, 3 inch slug will typically go around 1,700 to 1,800 feet per second. So this load from buffalo bore is just under, a 12 gauge slug, 1 ounce slug in terms of speed and power. So that's very impressive, and you're going to get much more penetration with this than you are with a 12 gauge slug because it's a smaller diameter bullet than the slug is. So I would say the test was a success. This verified that the buffalo bore ammo is not overstating their velocity, and I'm very impressed with this ammo so far. It's done really well in my penetration tests. This ammo out-penetrated any other 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum bullet. It penetrated through 9 2x10 Douglas fir framing joists, and no other bullet or load from a factory could penetrate as much as this one. So this is my bear load of choice for large eastern black bears here in upstate New York. And also when I travel to Montana soon, I'm going to be carrying this in grizzly bear country in some of the national forests and parks in Montana. And this is what this load was made for, is for large brown bears and large black bears. So very, very good load. This is what I trust my life to protect my life with this. I have no second guesses about using this. And it's an excellent round. So the purpose of this test was to verify the factory stated velocities and see if they weren't overstating them, and also to see what kind of velocity loss I would get with the 6.5 inch barrel. And the velocity loss is very minimal, and to me it's worth it because I feel that for an actual real world bear defense gun or any kind of dangerous game defense revolver. Any kind of barrel length that's longer than 6 or 7 inches is just too long to practically carry and to draw quickly in a defensive scenario. So I feel that the 6.5-inch barrel revolver that I have is the perfect balance between velocity, but also keeping the barrel length not too long, but just long enough where you can get good velocities, but it's not excessively long like, 7, 8, or 10-inch barrel revolvers, which are just way too long to carry. I used to have the 10.5-inch Performance Center, and it was just way too long. It was about 18 inches long, and it weighed over 5 pounds. And my 6.5-inch barrel revolver weighs 3.5 pounds, and it's very comfortable to carry. Not only is it comfortable to carry, it's also easy to draw out and swing onto your target. With a 8-inch barrel or 7-inch barrel or 10-inch barrel, it's going to be hard to draw that pistol out quickly from your holster and present it to your target, okay? So I feel the 6.5-inch barrel is a good happy medium. I definitely would not go below 5 inches on a 500 Magnum, but that's just my opinion. So this was a great test. I'm going to test my 6.5-inch barrel 500 Magnum with some other loads. I'm going to be testing some other factory loads to see what kind of velocities I get with it, and to see if these companies are not overstating their velocities. The next video I'm going to do is the Hornady 500 grain XTP, and we'll also do some Underwood loads and see what kind of numbers we get with the Underwood bear loads and some of the Underwood extreme penetrators. I'm also going to be doing another penetration test soon. We're going to test the 350 grain extreme penetrators from Underwood. We're going to test the 420 grain extreme penetrators. We're going to also test the 300 grain flex tip, and we'll test some other loads as well, factory loads, to see what kind of penetration we get. But this is definitely my bear defense load of choice for the 500 Magnum. I highly recommend it. Very accurate, very powerful, very consistent, great velocity. You can't ask for anything better than this. And Buffalo Bore obviously has a reputation of, their ammo being used in real world defensive scenarios. So I trust my life to Buffalo Bore ammo, and you should too. And I'm not getting paid to say that or sponsored in any way. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'll do some more videos on bear defense and my favorite bear defense loads and things like that, and some hand loading as well for the 500 Magnum. I'll be doing videos on that as well. So stay tuned to my channel for more 500 Magnum videos. And as always, thanks for watching. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.